The Persian Empire under Xerxes I was the greatest superpower of its time, stretching from the Indus River to the Mediterranean. Xerxes wasn't just seeking revenge for his father, Darius. He aimed to expand his empire westward and solidify his legacy as a conqueror. His invasion force was a colossal spectacle. Vast armies, war chariots, and a navy so large it required a bridge of boats to cross the Hellespont. Ancient historians claim his army numbered between 200,000 and over 1 million, though modern estimates suggest it was closer to 200,000 to 300,000, a formidable force nonetheless. Greece, by comparison, was a collection of fractured city-states often at war with one another. Athens and Sparta, two of the most powerful states, had starkly different cultures and political systems. Yet faced with the overwhelming Persian threat, they set aside their differences. Under the leadership of Themistocles, the Greeks planned to delay Xerxes at the narrow mountain pass of Thermopylae, while the Greek navy, stationed at Artemisium, engaged the Persian fleet. This coordinated strategy aimed to exploit Greece's terrain to offset the Persians' numerical advantage. Thermopylae, or the Hot Gates, was so named for its natural hot springs and the narrowness of the pass, which could only accommodate a few dozen soldiers abreast. This bottleneck made it the perfect defensive position for the vastly outnumbered Greeks. On one side lay the cliffs of Mount Kallidromos, on the other, the Malian Gulf. The terrain was treacherous, and the pass itself was little more than a path carved between rock and sea. King Leonidas of Sparta, chosen to lead the defense, understood the stakes. He brought with him 300 Spartans, not because that was all Sparta could spare, but because the 300 were his personal guard, each warrior a seasoned veteran with children to carry on their legacy. They were supported by about 7,000 other Greek troops from city-states like Thespiae, Phocis, and Corinth. Leonidas' mission wasn't just to hold the pass, it was to inspire the Greeks to unite against the Persian juggernaut. Before the battle, Xerxes sent envoys demanding the Greeks lay down their arms. Leonidas' reply, "Molon Labe, come and take them," encapsulated the Spartans' defiance and set the tone for the battle. The first day of battle began with a show of Persian confidence. Xerxes, underestimating the Greeks, sent a wave of lightly armed soldiers into the pass. They were met by the Greek phalanx, a formation as disciplined as it was deadly. Shield to shield, the Greeks held firm, their long spears cutting down the advancing Persians with brutal efficiency. Xerxes then unleashed his elite force, the Immortals, a crack unit that had never known defeat. But even they were no match for the Greeks in the narrow pass. The Spartans, at the heart of the defense, used feigned retreats to lure their enemies into traps before cutting them down. By the end of the first day, the pass was littered with Persian dead, and Xerxes was visibly enraged. The second day was more of the same. Persian archers, cavalry, and infantry all failed to break through. The Spartans fought with precision, their shields locking in unison, their spears striking with deadly accuracy. Xerxes, frustrated and humiliated, realized brute force alone wouldn't win him the pass. That night, Ephialtes, a local Greek with a grudge, approached Xerxes with a devastating secret. He revealed the existence of the Anapeia Path, a hidden trail that wound through the mountains and bypassed the Greek defenses. Xerxes immediately sent a detachment of troops under Hydarnes to flank the Greeks. By dawn, Persian forces had emerged behind the Greek lines. Leonidas' scouts brought him the grim news: the Greeks were surrounded. Leonidas called a war council and made his decision. He ordered the majority of the Greek army to retreat, sparing them for the battles to come. He and his 300 Spartans, along with 700 Thespians who volunteered to stay, would hold the pass to the last man. For Leonidas, this was not defeat, it was duty. The third day began with a somber silence as the Spartans and Thespians prepared for their final battle. They fought with unmatched ferocity, knowing death was inevitable. When their spears broke, they used their swords. When those shattered, they fought with daggers, shields, and bare hands. Leonidas fell early in the battle, struck by Persian arrows, but his men fought on, forming a protective ring around his body. The battlefield became a slaughterhouse. Persian losses were so heavy that Xerxes ordered his archers to fire volleys of arrows until the last Greek was dead. By the end of the day, the Spartans, Thespians, and their remaining allies lay slain, their bodies piled high. Though Thermopylae was a tactical defeat, it was a strategic and symbolic victory. The sacrifice of Leonidas and his men gave the Greek city-states time to rally their forces and solidify their resolve. Inspired by their bravery, the Greek navy dealt a crushing blow to the Persian fleet at the Battle of Salamis, forcing Xerxes to retreat. A year later, at Plataea, the Greeks secured their ultimate victory, ending the Persian invasion. The story of Thermopylae transcended the battlefield. Leonidas and his 300 Spartans became immortalized as symbols of courage, sacrifice, and resistance against tyranny. Their stand at the Hot Gates remains one of history's most celebrated tales of heroism, inspiring generations to fight for freedom, no matter the odds. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more epic historic battles, brought to you by Historic Warfare.